Tons of excitement here in the air tonight at Keyworth Stadium as Detroit City FC plays host to the Italian side Venezia FC, brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons. It'll be a festa, as they say in Italian, coming up next. Buonasera tutti and welcome inside historic Keyworth Stadium, where tonight maybe the greatest team that Detroit City FC has ever faced is here in a friendly matchup brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons. Alongside my broadcast partner, John Krieger, my name is Neil Rule. Venezia FC in town, John, and as I said, loaded with talent. This may be the best team Detroit City FC has ever faced.
Well, I don't think there's maybe about it. I think it is the greatest collection of foreign talent or domestic talent that we will see on the other bench here at Keyworth Stadium, in Keyworth Stadium and Detroit City FC's history. This is a club that has grown in the last 2 seasons to go from what is basically Serie D to Serie B. From Lega Pro last year, the champions of their division of that tier of Italian football, into the second highest league in the land. And they've done it the organic way, bringing in homegrown talent and growing as a club after a change in ownership has reset the fortunes of a club that has seen some difficult times in its history, but also on the high end has a Coppa Italia from a long time ago in its trophy case. They're trying to resurrect the former glory.
Let's take a look at the pre-match report brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. And John, this squad in Venezia FC really starts and ends with their manager, Filippo Inzaghi, one of the best to ever do it in the game of soccer, 4th all-time in European club competition in goals, only trailing Raul, Leo Messi, and some guy named Cristiano Ronaldo. That's a pretty good list to be a part of.
Yeah, I think I've heard those names before in international football, and he's number 4 on that list with good reason. He can put the ball in the back of the net. He was also able to star and win Serie A and European Cup titles at Juventus and Milan. There are no bigger clubs in Italy to go out and star on the international stage. He's also represented the Azzurri as well, representing Italy at the international level. When you can bring a manager of that kind of caliber into your club and do it when they were in the 4th level of the Italian game, people wake up and take notice. It was a statement of intent. And then what happens is you have clubs that are sending players to try and learn from him because he knows what it takes. And so you'll see some players on the pitch tonight that are on loan from Juventus and other clubs from around Europe, and that's because they want to bring it in and get experience in the Italian game and learn from one of the best players ever to put on a shirt in Italy.
And of course, it's a huge match here tonight, brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons against Venezia FC. But your eyes are on the horizon, no question about it. Saturday, it's playoff time. Dakota Fusion FC coming into town. As we take a look, Detroit City FC has earned the right due to their 2nd place finish in the conference. So obviously, John, this is a huge deal here tonight in terms of the club and the brand recognition with Venezia FC. But you have to keep an eye on what's coming down the horizon with the playoff match on Saturday against the Dakota Fusion.
Absolutely you do, and that's going to dictate a lot of what Ben Pierman does tonight. You're going to see some of the starting 11 come out and get a run out together. He'll do that because he wants that unit to keep playing together and building on the cohesiveness we've seen during the second half of this season. But then around halftime, I think you'll see a lot of changes for Detroit City FC. They've even called up owner Dave Dwahey to put on a shirt and be on the bench tonight because they're going to need bodies. Because the biggest thing is, A, build the cohesiveness and keep things going as a unit. The second biggest is to make sure that nobody expends too much energy and gets leggy for when the season restarts on Saturday night, when it's win or go home, survive and advance.
Well, in Italian, they say siamo pronto, and we are ready, in fact, for tonight's matchup against Venezia FC, brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons. And we'll have the opening kick coming up next, right here from Keyworth Stadium. Live stream coverage of the Detroit City Football Club is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium in tonight's match against Venezia FC, presented by the Detroit Pistons and Quicken Loans. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. And John, we talked about it. This isn't an opponent we've seen here before at Keyworth Stadium for Detroit City FC. The environment here a little bit differently as well. There's a buzz in the air. Lots of international soccer fans are here. Everybody knows exactly who leads this Venezia FC side in Filippo Inzaghi as we get you ready for the walkout with Le Rouge. But there is a buzz in the air, no doubt about it.
There is, and this is one of those matches that can help grow the DCFC brand, because you see some fans in here that are not wearing rouge and gold tonight. They're just international soccer fans that want to come out and see what Venezia has to offer. And if City puts its best foot forward, then maybe you realize you've got good quality football here at home, and they come out Saturday for the playoffs, further down the playoffs if City win, and next season in 2018. These are the kind of goodwill matches that help all the way through, but it's led, of course, by the best supporters, pound for pound, in all of sports, the Northern Guard.
John, you mentioned it. We see tons of Milan jerseys in the stands as well, and everybody respectful of what Venezia head coach Filippo Inzaghi has done. One of the most prolific goal scorers of all time, the fourth most goals, easy for me to say, in the history of European club competition, behind Raul, Leo Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo won 2 UEFA League titles in 03 and 07 with Milan, the most hat tricks in Serie A history as well, won the 2006 World Cup. Quite the resume, and a lot of respect, as you see, a lot of respect paid to that man Inzaghi.
Absolutely. He's had people with eyes on him ever since he walked out on the pitch in training. He was very, very helpful and friendly and interactive with fans at the kickoff party earlier this week. There are a lot of pictures going around on social media. He knows what this is about too, and he, I think, was kind of flattered and honored that his reputation carries over here to the United States. But you saw from the moment he stepped out in training that even though this is pre-season for him and the end of Detroit's regular season, he's in this to build with his club. They're in Serie B. It's their stiffest test to date, and he's out there making sure his side get ready as the Italian season is prepared to begin. Absolutely.
An extra special buonasera to all the Italian fans that are checking out worldwide, and extra special hello to those of you watching on Fox Sports Detroit.com. As a special treat, I'll do a minute of the match in Italian coming up a little bit later on, so that should be a good time. But as for now, it's time for the walkout with Le Rouge, presented by Metro PCS. This week, the players are joined by players from the Nationals Soccer Club.
To tonight's international friendly, please welcome Venezia FC and your Detroit City Football Club. Alongside Detroit City FC for tonight's walkout with Le Rouge, presented by Metro PCS, are players from Nationals Soccer Club. Thanks to Metro PCS, the official wireless provider of DCFC. And now for tonight's starting lineups, presented by Henry Ford Health System.
For Venezia FC, number 1, Emil Audero. Number 4, Vittorio Fabris. Number 5, Mattia Vitale. Number 6, Francesco Cernuto. Number 9, Jan Lakar. Number 10, Gianni Fabiano. Number 13, Matteo Bruscagin. Number 15, Leo Stulac. Number 16, Nicolo Simeoni. Number 17, Davide Marsura. Number 21, Alberto Arquadro. Manager of Venezia FC is Filippo Inzaghi. Assistant coach, Maurizio D'Angelo. Goalkeeping coach, Massimo Lotti.
Your officials for tonight's match are Nick Belser, Jason White, Igor Resnick, and Adam Carlson. And now for your hometown, Detroit City FC, starting 11. Number 40, Troy Watson. Number 32, Elijah Rice. Number 21, Zach Shiwi. Number 19, Roddy Green. Number 13, Bakey Goodman. Number 10, Cyrus Sadie. Number 9, Sean Lawson. Number 5, Stephen Carroll. Number 4, Seb Harris. In goal, wearing number 0, Fernando Pina. And your captain tonight, number 18, David Edwardson. Head coach of Detroit City FC is Ben Pierman. Technical advisors, Klaus DeBoer. Assistant coaches are Jordan Andrews, Josh Rogers, and Brett Mullen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem. Thank you. Now please stay standing for the national anthem of the United States, led by the Detroit City FC supporters section.
The national anthems for both the United States of America and Italy, as we're just moments away from the opening kick from tonight's friendly against Venezia FC. Locking up with Detroit City FC, of course, tonight's match brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons. Let's take a look at the kickoff weather It's a beautiful day to ride up to Keyworth, and if you do, and for all those that did, DCFC has you covered with a free bike valet provided by Wheelhouse Detroit, with locations in Hamtramck and downtown Detroit. 85 degrees and sunny. And John, this is really the first time in a while we've had this kind of heat on the field, especially with the sun. Now, we've had the heat with the rain, but today's the first day we've had this kind of heat with the sun.
Yeah, and you know what? If this were a league match, I'd be a little more worried about that. But since I don't expect anybody for City to go for over 45 minutes tonight because Ben Pierman's going to want to keep his side fresh, I think the fact that the heat is out there and will affect the legs a little bit won't have as pronounced an impact on the game. By the way, if you want to chat with Neil or myself during tonight's game, use the hashtag WatchCity. Hashtag WatchCity. I want to say hello to a special follower that picked us both up on Twitter. I'm going to try my Italian. Il Doricesimo, the 12th man of Venezia FC, following us tonight and tweeting out that you can, of course, watch us and interact with the broadcast with the hashtag WatchCity. So from across the pond, grazie for the follow and enjoy this evening.
Absolutely, and we are looking forward to it here tonight. Venezia FC in the black kits here today. Detroit City FC in the gold jerseys with the white shorts. We are just about ready to roll a very talented Venezia FC side, and we will get you all the names of everybody that's in the starting 11 here tonight. But we are just about ready to rock right now, just awaiting the official's whistle. And we will get things going. The opening kickoff brought to you by Chemical Bank. And we are underway here in Keyworth Stadium. Venezia FC with the control as they will try the left side.
Going to be a battle of styles tonight.
First 15 minutes of action brought to you by Henry Ford Health System, the official sports medicine provider of DCFC.
Filippo Inzaghi going with the trend that is sweeping across Europe at the moment. 3 at the back right now for Venezia. City staying with the traditional 4-3-3 that we've seen them in all season. Those 3 at the back for Venezia. You'll see pacey wingbacks. You'll see the ability to move the ball quickly and to stretch it from touchline to touchline. And they will test the City back forward. Got a couple players out there on loan from Juventus, including Emil Adero, the starting keeper, who for a while there was Gigi Buffon's backup, and that's not a bad position to hold in the world of football.
Absolutely not, and there's a look at Emil Adero on loan from Juve. As you said, he joined Juventus youth system at age 11, played for the Italian national youth teams at U15 all the way up to U20. Got a win in Serie A under his belt this year, John. On May 27th, he beat Bologna in his debut with Juventus in Serie A play, won 2-1. So a big-time thrill for that young man, just 20 years old, and certainly looking like a good bet to maybe be the heir apparent to Buffon.
And bringing him over here gives him a chance to learn from a man who has worn the Juventus shirt before. He knows what it means to play for that club in Inzaghi. And even though it's down now in Serie B and was in Lega Pro, the work ethic that Signor Inzaghi has put forth in building this club, it only helps the Juventus product.
Now Detroit City FC with the possession in the midfield as Ronnie Green tries to settle it down. Venezia will play it across the line. That ball will go out of play. So a throw-in coming for Detroit City as Troy Watson will toss this one in. Watson wearing number 40 tonight. Typically rocks a number 11 kit, 2 assists last year. Has been a steady presence for Detroit City FC throughout his career. That ball's played along the line and taken away. Matteo Bruscagin will play it towards the right side, and now back to the keeper, Odero. Odero puts a right boot to it, sends it up towards midfield. Seb Harris getting the start here tonight for Detroit City FC. Heads that ball ahead, and now the volley across the midfield line, John.
You know, it's very interesting early going. Teams just kind of searching themselves out, and some people asked me before tonight's match, what do I expect to see out of it from City? And the answer is I don't expect to see a whole lot other than treating it as a friendly. The biggest match this week for City comes Saturday in the NPSL playoffs. This is a wonderful occasion and something they should be proud to be a part of, but Ben Pierman has said he's going to rotate the squad. There are a lot of bodies out there. I wouldn't expect to see the starters go too much longer than 45 minutes. And so he's going to ask for a hard fight from his club, who's ever out there. But the goal here is to maintain the momentum from about the 71st minute on, from Friday evening, coming back from 3-0 down to draw Lansing United, and then moving forward to the NPSL playoffs while enjoying this wonderful international night.
Mattia Vitale with the pressure. And now Vitale will toss it in. Vitale also on loan from Juventus. Made his pro debut for Juve back on April 15, 2015. Now, what's newsworthy about that, he was the youngest Juve player to debut since Zanini in 1991. And if you need him, he's in the FIFA 16 video game as well.
You know, this club started 5 years ago on a high school pitch in Detroit with about 1,000 people in attendance. And now there's a guy on the pitch against him that's in FIFA. You want to talk about the growth of the game? It's the little things like that. And it's partially because, and you had a chance to talk with the American owner of Venezia, who we will get a chance to talk to, we hope tonight, Joe Tacopina, who may get a chance to come up and join us. You know, it says something that in the middle of all of the made-for-television friendlies that happen with the biggest clubs in the world here in the United States, a Serie B club that it is in its own way a grassroots growth and moving up the promotion tables, comes to play another American club that is trying to do the very same thing.
Zach Shiwi sends it in, and the header is in the back of the net from Roddy Green, but the offside flag is up. So everybody got excited, but checking down in the right corner, the offside flag was indeed up. So Roddy Green will not get the goal, and Seb Harris plays that ball away from Gianni Fabiano.
Well, that's a statement of intent there. Whether or not the offside flag was up, the three at the back were well and truly beaten. And the Juve product keeper had the inability to answer that offering from City.
Let's take another look at it, John. Yep, good call.
Yeah, absolutely in. But still, City going forward fearlessly and challenging that Venezia back three.
Now it'll be a corner for Venezia FC. Jockeying for position begins. Corner served up into the box. It's headed away, and now a left-footed blast put towards the cage, but that was blocked up front by Vitale. So Venezia FC, John, with their first real pressure here in the 7th minute.
I'll tell you what, had it not hit Vitale in front, I think that would have been very tough for Fernando Pena in the City goal. That was a low shot with pace and well placed. And here now, a run on the ball. And thank heaven for the artificial surface, because making a run at it was Davide Marsura. And on a grass pitch, I think he runs that down and could have been in the area and in a dangerous position.
Marsura had 3 goals in 22 matches played for Venezia, had 18 matches played for Brescia. You may know that name. That's where Roberto Baggio played from 2000 to 2004.
See, all I remember Senor Baggio doing was drilling one either off or over the bar in 1994. That's what I remember.
And you are now not very liked by our viewers in Italy. I wasn't going to bring that part up, folks. That's John Krieger on Twitter, not Neil Rule. That was John Krieger. Here comes Venezia FC on the attack, and that ball will be settled down by Sean Lawson in the corner. And Lawson burning out towards the middle of the field, but that was intercepted by Stulak. Stulak getting the brakes on and spinning. Very smooth with the possession of the ball, John. You notice it right away.
Yeah, they are definitely, this is a quality technical side, and they are able to turn quicker than I think City's defenders are used to seeing. And if you look at the possession here in midfield, it isn't hurried, it isn't scattered. Players continually running to space, continually working to get open. Look there as a lane is created and the through ball runs on the artificial surface. But again, Venezia retreating back to gain possession, keeping possession the way they can, and looking for the opening that they then create as they split the defense.
got an early tweet in with the hashtag #WatchCity from our good buddy NGS Louisville. It says our own Sebi Harris is in FIFA 11 with Northampton Town. So that's an oversight on my part. So multiple players on the pitch here today. Represented in the FIFA game as Watson is ruled offside. And of course, you can send your tweets with the hashtag #WatchCity. Send a special hello to Rich Pachete. Says NGS Nomad is watching live from the Mistake by the Lake. Hashtag #WatchCity.
I want to say hello to our friend Gus Macker as well down in the Keys. Came up to Keyworth, visited us last week.
Bearing gifts.
Brought us some Salt Life.
Yeah.
And we wish you were up here in the mitten with us as well.
Fun here tonight. Certainly a big time atmosphere here in Keyworth. I mean, there always is, but a little bit of extra juice in the building. Left side, Nicolo Simone with the possession, and it's taken away by Roddy Green. Green had an idea to try to find Sean Lawson. That ball played up too far. Odero will make the scoop.
Yeah, but the reason that ball was played too far is that Alberto Acuadro was coming in, and he closed down the City player with the opportunity to play the ball, and that forced the ball to be rushed. And that's why it was too far for the forward player.
There's another example. So you see Elijah Rice trying to fight through the double team. A little bit different story when you're trying to fight your way through that back line of Venezia FC that has guys that played in Serie A and Italian national youth teams. The sledding's a little tougher. There's no question about it.
And, you know, you take a look at the stature on the pitch. They are more physically built. These are guys that spend a lot of time in the weight room rather than being college kids that have to go to class and are going from team to team, college team to summer team like this. This is a team that plays together and is a unit, and you just see that. The positive is for the City, the faithful, is that so far City has held their own.
No doubt about it. Dave Edwardson's taking down the foul is called. Let's get to our Better Made fun fact. This is a good one, folks. Venezia FC's current home stadium, Stadio Pierluigi Penzo, is the second oldest stadium in Italy. It first opened in 1913. To contrast, Keyworth here opened in 1936. Now, the interesting note about Venezia Stadium, it's primarily reached by boat. So you have to, a lot like the rest of the city of Venice, you have to get around a lot of it by boat. And Venice still getting over 7,000 fans per match there. And now Venezia with the attack on the right side. Ball served into the box. Settling it down is Masura. And that ball played up over top of the cage and out.
Nice shot by Bakey Goodman there just to stand his ground. Once the ball skipped off Masura's foot, he had to go and try to get it. And Bakey Goodman just stepped in front and said, if you run over me, it's going to be a foul, and we'll go the other way. And that allowed the defense to close down, shut down the shooting lane, and went over top.
Another tweet with the hashtag #WatchCity. NGS Harvard Yard. How much Italian will Neil Rule and John Krieger use in the broadcast today? A lot. A lot, guys. Actually coming up, I'm going to do a minute of the match in Italian. I'm going to try my hand at it. I'm sure if it fails miserably, I'm sure the native Italians that are watching here tonight will certainly let me know about it on Twitter, but I'm going to do my best to do right by them.
Of course. We're trying to be good hosts. While he's speaking Italian, by the way, I'm going to be sitting here watching because my Italian is limited to the
non-existent.
The Twitter handles of people that follow us and things I can order off a menu. That's about my Italian. And I can say ciao, grazie, and prego, and that's about it.
Oh, hey, you can get food over there with that. And that's all. That's really all that matters. Ball played up on the left side. Detroit City FC looking to go to work. Knocked down in the midfield. Quadro settles it down. Swings it out wide to the left. On the move, Simone. Simone settles it.
Nice job playing with his head up, Simone. Came down the wing, thought about barging toward the corner, picked his head up, and now look at this play starting. And Pena coming out and claiming his area because coming in was Mattia Vitali. And had Pena not come out and been aggressive off his line, Vitali gets there, and then it's advantage striker. And Pena fearlessly went down, claimed the ball, could have been kicked in the head for his troubles. Vitali does a nice job to step over top. And we're still scoreless in the 13th minute.
Simone now with the throw-in, and things will get started again for Venezia FC. But that is the thing that you really notice with this squad is the confidence on the touch and the way they can receive a pass. Even on this quick surface that they're not fully used to. You can tell there's been a couple of instances. Simone was one where a ball bounced off the turf, went way above where he thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Unable to get the header down. But even through all that, with the unfamiliar surface, they still take their first touch confidently and quietly, probably more important.
Sure, they can settle the ball down, and that's the big thing. Sometimes it's going to bounce, but how can you control it off the chest, get it down to your feet? And you're right, they're not used to plastic pitches. First of all, this isn't even a 4G pitch here. Like, if it was a plastic pitch, they would have a chance to work with.
Roddy Green sends it towards the box. The ball's played up in the air. Green will touch it.
But there are only a couple of top flight clubs in Europe that use the plastic pitch. I believe Young Boys out of Switzerland plays on a plastic pitch. Some of the lower league clubs in England, where you have community uses for the pitch, will use a 4G, but in the leagues that they're going to be playing in Serie B, you're not going to see 4G pitches. And so well done to them for being able to adjust.
Aldero puts the right boot to it. Sends it up towards midfield. Troy Watson will escort it out. Now a throw-in coming for DCFC. 15th minute, no score. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along wherever you may be watching around the world. Sean Lawson settles it down. Lawson turns. He's been magic for Detroit City FC this year.
Look at Cyrus Sadie muscling the man marking him off the ball. Nice job by Cyrus to reverse field and keep the play alive there for City.
Middle, there's Bakey Goodman with it. Goodman retreats and turns. Tries to reestablish his position, goes out wide to the left, but again, you just see how technical Venezia is, John. Even defensively, look at it. It's a unit that's moving in lock sync with each other.
Absolutely. It's like the 11 move and adjust as one.
It's like a foosball table.
They're
all on a rod.
It is, and the back line stays up and is a lot. You could put a laser across, a laser level across, and you see the line. And the midfield keeps a wonderful shape right now. Right now, Venezia's midfield in a bit of a diamond. The wing backs sitting a little further back. Probably don't think they need to commit as far forward as they would in other matches, as City gets a lot of space. Nice drop back there for Cyrus Sadie.
Here comes Sadie. Sadie passes that off to the right. Watson looking for Roddy Green to make a run just out of his reach, and that ball will trickle over the inline. The next 15 minutes of play presented by Fago, the official pop of Detroit City FC. As always, this is a Rock and Rye friendly broadcast booth.
And I want to thank the folks at Fago who worked hard to make sure I could find Diet Rock and Rye. When you know you have Detroit's one and only true pop, when the Fago marketing people will send you a list of where you can find your favorite flavor. So well done. Thank you very much. And victory Fago from here on out will be Diet Rock and Rye.
There you go. Leo Stulak with it. That ball played up, settling it down nicely. Fabiano turns and fires, and a diving save made by Pena as he closes the door.
Fabiano, what a turn. Settles it down with his back to goal, turns and fires across the face of goal. That's a tough save. Look at Fabiano here. Turns, one touch, two touch, find a screener, and send it across goal. And Pena stayed with it, got down, and made the save. That is a great use of the screen by Fabiano, and an even better job of getting down and staying with it and making the save for Fernando Pena.
Elijah Rice hassling Cernuto. Cernuto finally settles it down. Ball played up through the middle, some miscommunication there from Venezia. Finger pointing going around. Now Detroit City FC trying to matriculate it up the left side.
City's back four staying pretty tight themselves. You know, normally you'll see City's back four, the wing backs come further forward. They realize that's not necessarily what they can do. I mean, Troy Watson is coming forward now, the center back's staying back, but they're respecting Venezia without completely and totally getting out of their game. And the City center backs have done a very nice job of marshaling the attacking three. Careful here on that back pass.
Dave Edwardson being hassled, and now the turnover as Venezia settles it down. Masuda with the ball at his feet. Masuda, and then recovering is Dave Edwardson, taking it away out for a corner for Venezia.
That started all the way up in midfield when the City player made a back pass
That'd be a goal kick, beg your pardon.
Not looking around to see that there were 3 Venezia players behind him. If you're going to make a back pass where your center backs are outnumbered 3-2 and you're putting it on them to receive that back pass, you're going to lose the ball, and that's what happened. And a nice job by City center backs to shut that down. I want to say hi to a couple people on Twitter. First of all, Abby's name, who is one of our loyal viewers and most ardent supporters. And trust me, your kind words, Abby's, mean the world. Thank you so much, Abby, for being with us. And also from Middlesbrough, England, Tripper watching. Not quite sure if Tripper is a Borough fan. They didn't have the best of times last year in the Premier League, but that club on Teesside has brighter days ahead.
Now Venezia with the possession. Vitale. Some more magic. The ball at his feet. Touches it out wide. Masura. Chipped up by Vitale, and Pina makes the grab. So John, with this minute right here, I'm going to give it a whirl here. I'll try my best Italian. So Lindsey Pearson, be ready for this. Here we go. Next minute in Italian. Here we go. Roddy Green. Passa la testa. Watson. Sadie. Passa Green. Green. Fisciale. Roy Watson. Rapido. Passa la palla. A sinistra. Passa Lunghi. Madero. Madero. La maglia di giallo. Milo Odero. Giocatore per Juventus. Sadie. Bellissimo per Sadie. Edwardson a sinistra. Shiwi. Stephen Carroll. Fernando Pina. Passa la palla. Alla destra. Stulak. And that wraps up the minute in Italian. That was my best go at it. So
Molto bene.
that was my best go at it. So appreciate it if the fine folks in Venice, Italy, don't crush me too bad on Twitter. I tried.
No, I think they'll love it. And another tweet coming in from across the Atlantic from our friends at Il Doricesimo, who took the time to translate in English. They say, at John Krieger, we're watching the Venezia FC game on Fox Sports Detroit from Italy. Please send our greetings to all of the Detroit City FC fans. Something tells me that the supporters of the Lagunari are equally as excited about a friendly like this as we are.
Let's take a look at the Grand Circus player profile. Number 13, Bakey Goodman. The man today graduated from Georgetown, 56th overall selection in the 2017 MLS Super Draft, drafted by the Seattle Sounders. You can read the full Grand Circus player profile on DebtCityFC.com. So a throw in now for Detroit City. We're here in the 23rd minute, still no score. And John, for as technical as Venezia has been, Detroit City FC has been up to the challenge defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, they are not the most physical side on the pitch tonight. The Italian side on paper should win this handily. Just on skill and professionalism of players alone, they're a professional side. but City have kept their shape very well, especially along the back line, and I'm really impressed with the City midfield three that has shut down the Venezia Diamond and not allowed as many passes through the middle in space as I thought we might see. And as we see that, a nice little touch to the side, and overrunning the ball was Nicolo Simeone, but Simeone puts his hand up acknowledging the pass because it was a good ball into space. He just overran it on the plastic pitch.
Simeone, again, that's the second time we've seen the plastic pitch cause him some issue, and there is the legend, Filippo Inzaghi, one of the best goal scorers in the history of soccer, not in Italy, ever play soccer, like ever.
Yeah, you know, you take a look at European goal scorers, and numbers 1, 2, and 3, I'm not quite sure in which order. Raul, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and then number 4, that man on the touchline, Filippo Inzaghi, who has taken the work ethic for whom he played with Juventus and with Milan and instilled it in this club. And you could see it from the moment that the players stepped out on the pitch tonight for training. They play for Inzaghi, and they learn from him.
Another look at Inzaghi. Quite the hit yesterday at the meet and greet, Motor City Casino.
With, as Lindsay points out, pretty epic shoe game.
Oh yeah, shoe game always strong. 0-0 the score here in the 25th minute. Detroit City FC, Venezia FC. Tonight's match brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons. Coming up in just a little bit, we're scheduled to be joined by the owner of Venezia FC, Joe Tacopina. He's an American attorney, and he is an entertaining guy to talk to. He's an entertaining guy just to have talk, period. You don't even need to talk to him. He's just entertaining to listen to.
We'll just take 15 minutes off, let him go.
We'll schedule. He could do it. He could absolutely do it. The energy with that guy.
Look at Roddy Green tracking back there. Tracking back from his forward position and then turning and playing a ball to Cyrus Sadie, who cuts inside and a beautiful dummy ball through.
Lawson with the right-footed shot goes over top of the bar.
Wow. What a turn from Roddy Green. Cyrus Sadie over to Jean-Claude Lawson looks like what should be talked about during that play. But that play was started all the way the other side of the halfway line when Roddy Green tracked back a forward, stepping in, muscling his man off the ball, keeping it on his boot, and seeing Cyrus Sadie, who made a heads-up run as soon as he saw there could be a change in possession, and getting in over there on the wing to set that ball up for Lawson, who just scuffed it a bit.
Here comes the attack. Sort of with it, and that will dribble in towards Pina, who makes the grab. And a Twitter check-in with the hashtag WatchCity from our buddy David Sabin in Philadelphia, checking in from Philly. Neil Rule has me dying right now with his Italian, just naming players. And to be fair, the play dragged to a halt.
You picked a bad minute.
I picked a really bad minute to do it.
We may have to have a second minute.
Maybe in the second half, I'll try it again. You know, it's just the ball kept going out of play, and there was just not much to say. So you'll have to cut me a break on that, David.
Look at Cyrus Sadie going all the way over to the far side. He's normally central in midfield, getting over there, getting open. And now they're going to run it through Bakey Goodman in the middle, and they reverse field for Troy Watson. And Watson does a nice job to settle it down. And City taking its turn at some very methodical possession, trusting their back line with the back pass and keeping the midfielders forward, try to keep a little bit of pressure on the Lagunari.
Of course, Venezia FC, nicknamed Lagunari, translates to Lagoon Ones, as Venice is situated right on the Venetian Lagoon. And now here comes Bakey Goodman. Goodman with it, swings it out to Rice. Rice on the left side. Scissoring across. Rice steps back and shoots. The ball is loose and it's put in the back of the net by Roddy Green. It's a goal for Detroit City. They take a 1-0 lead.
What a beautiful job by Roddy Green to find the end of that. It started, though, with Bakey Goodman in midfield having the sense to put that ball over to the wing, and then from the wing it's sent across, and Roddy Green waiting as Adero cannot come up with the ball across the face of goal, and he's there to poach one, and City take a 1-0 lead. Aduro can't come up with it. He punches. Nothing really on the punch to clear it away. Nice job by Roddy Green to stay on side. And it's the American side here at Keyworth that takes the lead over Serie B's newest member.
So now the smoke pours out of the Northern Guard supporter section. Their side with a 1-0 lead. I would certainly assume this grabs Venezia's attention here in the 29th minute. That ball played out towards the right side.
Rice is down, Neil.
Rice is down, and Seb Harris will touch it over the line. So now Rice with an opportunity, and there's a look at the Northern Guard supporter section. They're certainly fired up.
Yeah, something tells me, and by the way, class to them, there's smoke tonight in Venezia colors. Green and orange, in addition to the traditional rouge and gold, so a little bit of an homage to our Italian visitors. And it looks like Elijah Rice is up. If at all, he is not 100% though. If he goes in at the halftime interval and says, look, I'm a little ginger, he'll be taken off very quickly because City need him Saturday for the NPSL playoffs. Nice job there to pop that out and clear lines by the City defense.
And John, you can tell a clear change in the demeanor of Venezia FC after that goal.
Elijah Rice getting on to the ball and sending it to Roddy Green. And all of a sudden, City take a look at this and say, oh my, we are leading a Serie B club. Let's go ahead, we can play with these guys. Try to make something more happen.
Sanuto goes to the left side. That ball tucked into the corner, and a whistle and a foul is called as Rice took down Ruskajin.
Abby's name on Twitter asks us if we can translate goal into Italian.
It's the same.
Goal.
They spell it differently, but the results are the same. G-O-L.
Yes, we can.
Goal. And they shorten it up a little bit, I guess, goal. But you get the gist of it. It's pretty much the same in any language.
Yeah, and the gist of it is 1-0 to City with 30 minutes on the clock.
Next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Phoenix House, the official building partner of Detroit City FC.
NGS Louisville tweeting at us tonight, said it was a fitting goal against Inzaghi, who liked to score like that for both of the Serie A clubs he played for. He was always in and around the area, and that was a poacher's goal for Roddy Green. Staying onside, waiting for the keeper to make a mistake, put it in the back of the old onion bag.
I will say this. When you're fourth all time behind Raul, Leo Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo, you got goals every kind of way.
Oh, listen, I am not at all diminishing what that man did on the pitch for both the Azzurri and for Milan and Juventus. You score, you score. You have to have the presence of mind to be able to put it in the back of the bag. He did.
Stulak off the restart for Venezia. Stulak from Slovenia. He's got 5 goals in 12 matches for the Slovenia U21 national team. So that gives you an idea of the type of talent he has as well. Fabrice on the cross, and that's headed out by Watson. But again, right-footed shot. That's blocked by Edwardson. And Edwardson, off the foot of Stulak, and Edwardson hits the turf.
Edwardson took that.
For the team.
Yeah.
Here comes Rice. Across midfield, left side, Sadie with a head of steam. Sadie scissoring, stepping over, undressing the defender Aquadro. Cyrus Sadie again with the ball at his feet. Magic by Sadie. The cross, and it's in the back of the net. 2-0 City. Cyrus Sadie, a magician.
The magic, then the pass, and the easy finish. Take a bow, number 10. You didn't score it, but you made it happen. And what a great ball through. Look at Cyrus Sadie, all the way to the byline, keeps it in play across the way, and that'll be instant Rice getting on the score sheet. Elijah finishing Cyrus's masterclass in undressing a defender down the wing. And the Michigan State University product, Spartans will set one up against the Serie B club. 2-0 to the good.
So City right now shocking Venezia FC, a lot of long faces on the bench for Venezia. Stulak send it out wide to the right side. Fabrice. Ball played to Fabiano. Fabiano, 7 goals in 34 career matches for Venezia. But they don't have any right now. And they're down by 2 here in the 34th minute. Tonight's match brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons. Long ball sent ahead. Stephen Carroll has scored it out. And the goal kick upcoming.
Now, just so that we're clear and so that we get ready for this, don't forget that City's starters are up 2-0 on Venezia right now. These starters will not play the full 90 minutes. Ben Pierman is not concerned about whether or not City wins or loses this match per se. It's a friendly. You'd like to win. I think you'll see changes, and in fact, you're going to see the first City change right here. Cyrus Sadie's coming off, and George Chamakov is going to come on. And so, very nice for City. They're 2-0 to the good. However this finishes, your starting 11 versus Venezia's starting 11, you are up 2-0 to the good. But now you're going to see Ben Pierman start to rotate this squad a little bit. Chamakov in, getting a run out against an Italian club for a faithful servant of the game here in Metro Detroit, the Schoolcraft College product, who also works with the Hamtramck Cosmos, the home side right here at Keyworth Stadium during the school year. And so things may change a bit, but never forget the starting 11 was up 2-0 to the good, and Cyrus Sadie gets a great send-off as he comes off the pitch.
Sura with it. Venezia in that 2-0 hole. Right-foot chip ahead into the box is played away. Quadro unable to do what he wanted with it.
And a foul for a rather pronounced push in the back. And so City will get to restart. No advantage was able to be maintained for City. So Pena will come out and will punt things from the top of the D.
Pena will size things up. Step out, put the right boot to it. Played up in the air. And Venezia as the ball again stalls at midfield. Zach Shiwi will settle it down. Shiwi was a MAC All Tournament performer as a junior at Bowling Green State. Long ball sent ahead.
Look at Elijah Rice running at the center back for Venezia. He took a look up and saw Elijah bearing down on him, and it actually forced him off his game a little bit. He couldn't send it forward as quickly as he would have liked.
So here comes Venezia on the attack up the right side. Ball crossed in, but Stephen Carroll, shuts the door.
Venezia appealing for a penalty. That appeal goes in vain, rightly.
Here's Sean Lawson with it. Lawson through the midfield. Crispy pass to Troy Watson. Watson puts the brakes on. Ball taken away, but right to Watson as he will let it cross the line. Troy Watson with another throw in. Here's a look at Gianni Fabiano. 7 goals, 34 career matches for Venezia. He wanted that penalty call in the box. The official wasn't buying. Simoni to throw it in. Vitale. Sanuto along the right side. Fabrice, long pass ahead. Unable to make the reception is Fabiano. Fabiano, though, gives a thumbs up to the effort.
Again, one step slow there, as on occasion, Venezia just taking its time getting used to how quickly the ball runs here at Keyworth. It's quicker than anything they'll see the rest of the year. And City playing that to their advantage. That said, though, despite the fact that they are 2 goals down, the Venezia back line still maintaining a very good shape. Very high line against City right now.
So Watson, now a bit of a delayed trap, but Watson steps through the double team. But they do get the turnover. And Venezia now with the possession.
Yeah, they get the turnover, but I'll tell you what, that was a nice speculative little ball. Sean Lawson was onside. And if it wasn't for the right leg of a Venezia center back, he would have had a chance to get in. That is the other side of playing the high line. If you get beat, there's an awful lot of green behind you. And Sean Lawson was trying to find that. Fairly decent through ball.
Sean Lawson made a career of that at Oakland University, scored tons of goals in that very fashion. Just exploiting seams, exploiting room on the field. That ball settled down by Marsura.
Marsura very aggressive with the ball. One touch, gets it on his boot, and keeps the ball on his boot. Very close footwork.
Stulak slow to get up. Midfielder from Slovenia. Here's a dangerous restart spot for Venezia. Now they're looking for a good
inspecting every seam on the football.
Good spot to tee this thing up.
And now they're being directed
oh no,
to move it back
break.
A couple of yards. Well done to the referee this evening for being on the spot there.
Well, Stulak thinking it's just not his night right now. Stulak stands over it. Fabiano in the area as well. Stulak makes the run. Right foot deflected away by the line, and the wall does their job.
Yeah, nice job by City's wall to get in there, make a deflection. A couple of Venezia players appealing for a hand. I don't think there was one close. But it'll go out and be a Venezia throw. And Stulak turns on the ball and it runs away from him.
Stulak unable to do what he wanted with that touch, and Sean Lawson with some integrity through a couple of Venezia players. And here comes Ronnie Green on the run. Rice is up with him. Lawson coming up from behind. Green's in the box. Green steps over. The shot is deflected. Green can't catch up with it.
That's going to be a corner, though, as he put it in off the keeper again. Roddy Green turned down the afterburners. He had a man who would have been onside, but a nice job by the Venezia center back to shut down the passing lane there and deflect that ball away.
I like that shot. I like that shot by Roddy Green. There's a high probability of a handball on that shot, if anything else, let alone a goal.
Mateo Bruscagin in there on the deflection, shutting down that lane and that shot, but still a City corner. 40 minutes gone, 2-0 to the good.
Zach Shiwi will make the move to serve the corner. Corner served in, goes all the way through, stepping in with a right-footed volley blast, and that will go wide for Detroit City, but a dangerous opportunity nonetheless. George Chamakov put the boot to it. Had a good run at making this one 3-0.
I tell you what, City looking very sharp. Ben Pierman will want to use this as an example of the fact that City can play with anybody. And you'll want to take that into Saturday against the Dakota Fusion FC.
Vitale with the left foot, that goes off the post. And it's cleared out of harm's way by Zach Shiwi. But Vitale made something out of nothing right there, John. That was ultra dangerous.
That ball was headed in, it hit the turf and spun the other way. Some spin caught, and it spun it to the outside instead of to the inside. And that's the reason it went off the outside of the post. And there's a ball that's deflected out. So here's the replay. Look at there. Comes in, bounces once, and spun. And I think Pena got a finger on it. But it bounced to its right and off the inside of the post. There's the touch in. Pena does get a touch, just enough to put it off the post. And it bounces the opposite way. Doesn't bounce in to make it 2-1. Pena thanking the upright.
43rd minute. So stick around at halftime. Our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson will be joined by head coach Ben Pierman. Detroit City FC. I don't think very many expected this here tonight. They're up 2-0 on Venezia FC.
I'll be honest.
Serie B team with 3 guys on loan from Serie A squads.
I'll be honest, I didn't.
Nor did I.
This is a professional club. I love City. You know, I love working with them and being a part of these broadcasts, but This is Serie B club. And I thought City might score. I didn't expect 2-0 to the good after 43 minutes. This is a heck of a showing by Ben Pierman's boys.
So that ball swung across, and here's Troy Watson with it. Watson's had some good minutes here tonight for Detroit City. Now, Ben Pierman did say in the second half that he will make a massive amount of substitutions because the eye is on the prize, and the prize is Saturday, the MPSL playoffs against Dakota Fusion FC. Of course, if you want to make your way out, go to DebtCityFC.com. Get your tickets because they are going quickly Saturday night. And that's not just, I'm not just speaking at that. That's not a marketing ploy or anything like that. That's a factual statement, guys. These tickets are going quickly. If you want to be a part of it, you better get your ducats now.
You want to go to DebtCityFC.com. You want to click that ticket link. A couple of things to note, by the way, for that match, Neil. If you are a City Gold Card season ticket holder, as the ball comes in and Pena claims, if you're a City Gold Card season ticket holder, your tickets are good. Your gold card is good. But if you are a regular season ticket holder, you need to buy a ticket. Your season ticket expired with tonight's match. It does not, the standard City card regular season ticket does not include the playoff match. So you got to head to Det City FC Saturday night, 7:30. If you can't be here on Watch City. If you can't be at Keyworth, stay tuned with us. But we want you down here. So if you're a regular City card holder, you do need to purchase a ticket at DebtCityFC.com. The only season ticket cards that will be honored will be the City Gold cards for the playoff matches.
Here's Dave Edwardson with it. Of course, Saturday night, Dakota Fusion FC, Detroit City FC, the MPSL playoffs, 7:30, right here at historic Keyworth Stadium. First ever playoff game here at Keyworth. I wonder if the environment's going to be any good that night. I wonder if people will be excited for that match. I don't know.
I think, to use the young people's parlance, it might be turned.
Absolutely, it shall. Fits to be lit, no doubt about it.
And we hit the stroke of 45 minutes, and as is often the case with a friendly, we get the halftime whistle. No stoppage time.
So 45 minutes of play in the books here. Detroit City FC shocking the Serie B Venezia FC squad. To this point, leading by the score of 2-0. That man Elijah Rice, that man Roddy Green. I've got people partying here at Keyworth tonight. The club is going up on a Tuesday here this evening.
City played about the best half they could against this Venezia side. They stayed with them. The back line was resolute. The midfield 3 against the diamond 4 for Ignazi, was able to shut down passing lanes. And they played the kind of technical football Ben Pierman looks for from them. And a couple of superhuman performances by Roddy Green and by Cyrus Sadie to be playmakers on goals and to score as well, including Elijah Rice. Make it a half of dreams for Detroit City FC.
And now, as promised, our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson standing by with the head coach Ben Pierman. Lindsey, take it away.
Everything I hope for.
Thanks, Neil. Coach, up 2 goals at halftime against Venezia. What was the game plan heading into this friendly?
Well, not much has changed since what we've been doing. There's got to be the structure defensively. This is going to be probably 10 out of the 11 starters that play Saturday, so we want to make our ball speed good. Clearly, they have the ball more than most of our opponents in our league, so we needed to get to defensive angles well, and then I thought when we had it, Fernando in the back line did a great job of spreading them out and trying to play through them. They're in preseason, so they're a little rusty. They're still getting used to each other. We're at the highlight of our season, so it's a little skewed, but I thought our speed of play was tremendous. Cyrus, so he had a special play there, and then we're taking chances up top.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Neil, back to you.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. So 2-0 the score. Cyrus Sadie, that man indeed a magician. He's part of the reason that City has been staked to this 2-goal lead. So we will take the halftime break as well. Come back, get you the second half of action. City leading it 2-0. We'll be right back.
Please?
Of course, I got it right here.
It's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just
Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's what you get. It's starting. Mine works.
Bob realized his network coverage was a no-show. That's why he switched to Metro PCS, because he figured out he gets a network that's more reliable than ever, covering 99% of people in the U.S. Switch now and get 2 lines for only $50 period, plus 2 free Samsung Galaxy phones. Metro PCS, wireless.
I want to blend my business education and athletic skills and open my own fitness center. At Lawrence Tech, I'm learning how to research, present, and to really think like an entrepreneur. And I love the small college feel here, where there's always something to do. We have men's and women's intercollegiate sports and dozens of student organizations. I can't wait to apply what I'm learning here in the real world. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
I'm proud of where I'm from. It taught me, everything. Taught me how to love. It taught me to be the man that I am today. Taught me to appreciate what you work for, to work hard, and to always make the next day better than the day before. There are so many lessons that we're on this earth to learn, I feel like, daily interactions, daily experiences. Sometimes things that you don't understand till way later, that come with wisdom, age, experience. And it's inspiring. It's inspiring to work for something that you believe in, where you can feel the quality of everything that we do, the authenticity, the hunger. It truly comes from the soul. I've never feared not living the life I dreamed of. I know what I want. I'm gonna go after it and give it everything I got and do what it takes. To see your dreams manifest, to see something you wanted to start, plan it out, make it happen. It's an amazing feeling. It's the pursuit of happiness. It's just the right energy. That energy that you got coming up, that energy that reminds you, re-energizes you and gives you faith in whatever you're doing. Those moments, those emotions, those feelings, it feels right. That's how you know you've made it home. I love you, Detroit. I love you for real.
During the week, I sit at a desk. On the weekends, I'm a DIY warrior.
thanks to my 2016 Chevy Silverado. With its high-strength steel frame, my Silverado can take on any project. Add in its towing power and ability to keep me connected, my Silverado is the perfect tool for all my jobs.
Lease a 2017 Silverado 1LT 4-wheel drive All-Star Edition for just $219 a month for 36 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
I love helping people get what they need. So when you order with ClickList from Kroger,
I make sure you get everything you ask for, just the way you like it.
Whole organic milk? Done.
2 ripe bananas and 1 green.
And today's fresh bread? Got it.
With ClickList, I'm your personal shopper, so you can trust me to pick out exactly what you want, bagged and ready for when you arrive.
Try ClickList at a Kroger near you. Order online, pick up curbside at store with same-day pickup now available. Visit Kroger.com/ClickList.
My passion is architecture. I don't want to sit around passively studying. I need to create. In our architecture studios at Lawrence Tech, we collaborate with students, faculty, and professionals from around the world. And from day one, we design using the same industry standard software that architecture firms use. I really feel like I'm designing my own future here. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
You guys are ready! Oh, you guys are ready!
Ticket, please.
Of course, I got it right here.
There's nothing there.
It's loading. It takes a little bit. Just give me like a minute, guys.
Here's my ticket. It's starting. Mine works.
Bob realized his network coverage was a no-show. That's why he switched to Metro PCS, because he figured out he gets a network that's more reliable than ever, covering 99% of people in the U.S. Switch now and get 2 lines for only $50 period, plus 2 free Samsung Galaxy phones. Metro PCS, wireless.
I want to blend my business education and athletic skills and open my own fitness center. At Lawrence Tech, I'm learning how to research, present, and to really think like an entrepreneur. And I love the small college feel here, where there's always something to do. We have men's and women's intercollegiate sports and dozens of student organizations. I can't wait to apply what I'm learning here in the real world. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
I'm proud of where I'm from. It taught me, everything. Taught me how to love. Taught me to be the man that I am today. Taught me to appreciate what you work for, to work hard, and to always make the next day better than the day before. There are so many lessons that we're on this earth to learn, I feel like, in daily interactions, daily experiences. Sometimes things that you don't understand till way later.
Welcome back to historic Keyworth Stadium, 2-0 City with the lead. Neil Rule, John Krieger back here with you. And John, as you look at the events of the first 45 minutes, magical for Detroit City.
Absolutely. Perfect. Near, if not perfect, near perfect for Detroit City. They were great on the ball. They were able to withstand long bouts of possession from Venezia. You heard Ben Pierman talking about it with the fact that Venezia has the ball and keeps the ball more than your average NPSL club, which is fitting and proper because they're a Serie B outfit that knows how to keep possession, and yet City was able to withstand it. A couple of yeoman's efforts from the center backs for Detroit City FC. In fact, the entire back line for Detroit City FC. Seb Harris, Zach Shiwi, Stephen Carroll along the back line for City, all playing great football in the first half to keep Venezia off the board. And then Cyrus Sadie creating space in midfield. Roddy Green playing all the way up past the halfway line on the pitch, tracking back and being able to move the ball forward on the counter. Just a great transition and a great first half.
Let's take a look at the Metro PCS halftime report and all the numbers and particulars from the first 45 minutes of play. 7 shots for Venezia, 5 for Detroit City, but 3 each on goal. Fernando Pena has been great here tonight, as you would expect he would have to be if they want to entertain thoughts of victory. 4 corners for Venezia, 1 for Detroit City. But again, John, to win a match like this against a Serie B team, you're going to need big-time efforts from your main guys. Your big-time performers, Cyrus Sadie, Fernando Pena, check and check.
Yep, and also Becky Goodman in midfield gets a little bit of a nod from me as well. Been very physical in midfield, and he's been a nice dovetail with Cyrus to be able to allow him to express himself.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes of play. There was an electric atmosphere here tonight at Keyworth, and that man, Roddy Green, certainly would be a factor through the first 45 minutes, but the Detroit City FC back line has been strong here tonight. Elijah Rice, as you see, with the shot, and then Roddy Green puts it back in. And that put Detroit City FC up by the score of 1-0. And then Cyrus Sadie, folks, the picture speaks for itself. Elijah Rice puts it away, and it's 2-0. And as my partner John Krieger said, Cyrus Sadie won't get credit for the goal, but he certainly did create it, and Elijah Rice finished it. Fernando Pena was strong on his line, and as always, goalkeepers get a little luck from their friends being the form of the goalpost. So Pena keeps a clean sheet through the first half of the match, and that is where we stand 2-0 as we ready for the second half of play. And Detroit City will have the possession to get things started, and you see, John, you look out here on the field right now, Venezia FC passing the ball around the field. That tells me one thing. They're not comfortable with the pitch right now, and they're doing everything they can to try to get comfortable with it.
Yeah, they're going out there, and you notice the passes are high. They want to be able to control the ball. They want to be able to learn how it will run, how it will move. City can keep playing that to their advantage. And there is Filippo Inzaghi, who sees his team down 2-0 to a 4th division side from the United States. Let's take a look at some of the lineup changes for City. Jeff Adkins coming on for City here to begin the second half. Also on the pitch now, Mauricio Castorino is out there for City. Elijah Rice still up top.
Jeff Atkins will sport the captain's armband there on the left side. That Fago logo on the back of the kits for Detroit City FC. We'll work on maybe getting the Rock and Rye bottle on there for next season. That's something that I'm going to suggest. We'll see if the fine folks at Fago,
I'm all for it.
Hook that up.
And of course, George Shamakov, who came on to replace Cyrus Sadie, who did all the work he needed to do with that masterclass run down the left side in the first half. George Shamakov getting an extended run out.
The next 15 minutes of action brought to you by Metro PCS, the official wireless provider of Detroit City FC. So, how about this spot, everybody? 2-0, Detroit City FC with the lead over Venezia FC, the Serie B squad. We'll be joined by the owner of Venezia FC, Joe Tacopina, in the 50th minute, scheduled to come up to the booth. Certainly looking forward to that conversation, and you guys make sure you stick around for that. He is an entertaining character and has a vision for this Venezia team. And it's in much the same respect what's happening here in Detroit. It's interesting too, the city's kind of running on parallel trajectories as well. Once great cities had their struggles for a couple moments, but now coming back onto the scene in a big way. So John, what are we going to see differently here from Venezia coming out for this second 45 minutes of play?
I think they're going to press. I think they've got to press. They've got to move forward. They weren't committing as many forward in midfield. The fullbacks weren't bombing forward. The three at the back were kind of being passive. Don't be surprised to see more wing play from them. Don't be surprised to see that back line press further forward and try to compact things in the attacking third to try to get a goal back. A couple of changes for Venezia. Out on the pitch, Evan Soligo is making his appearance, number 8 for Venezia. He's a halftime addition. We'll get you some more changes as we can.
Vittorio Fabrice settles it down. Fabrice started his youth career Vicenza Calcio.
See, and as you press forward, as Venezia was doing there, you expose yourself to the counter. And there's a great ball through. Coming on now for City is Jordan Tyler.
Jordan Tyler into the game as well for Detroit City.
And Tyler has actually replaced Elijah Rice. Also on in the forward line for City is Well, check it. Omar Sinclair is there in a defensive capacity. He may not be eligible for Saturday, having been sent off in the last league match. I'll have to check the disciplinary policies for the NPSL.
Castorino picks off that pass. He settles it down. Castorino has the ball taken away. Now Venezia will look to go to work again. Fabrice on that right side. Venezia looking to counter quickly. Soligo.
Oh, great ball through.
Makar sends it through, and it's played out by Zach Bach.
Zach Bach, a late add to the squad tonight. He wasn't on the original roster, but 14 is in attendance, and he comes out and closes down very nicely to clear that away.
Fernando Pena off the line to grab that. Tia Vitale on loan from Juventus, youngest player to make a debut for Juventus back in 2015 since 1991, to give you the idea of the type of talent he possesses. You can play as him in the FIFA 16 video game. We talked about that during the first 45 minutes of play. You can send your tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. That's where I was informed Seb Harris was actually an active participant in the FIFA 11 video game.
Oh, that's a nice touch. Coming all the way forward to pick it up is Soligo. And Soligo started that play by collecting the ball from his center back all the way the other side of halfway. And another 1-2 there. Great 1-2 with Falzerano.
That ball is headed up towards frame, but Pena up to the task. Marcello Falzerano coming into the game as a halftime substitution. There's Fernando Pena. Talk about pedigree. He has it as well. The All-MAC first team as a freshman during his time at Akron. The top goalkeeper in the nation coming out of high school, and allowed just 2 goals in 298 minutes during the 2011 CONCACAF U17 National Championships. Right-footed blast, and that goes wide off the foot of Jan Lakar. So Lakar, the native of Slovenia as well, he's also on loan from a Serie A rich club in Fiorentina. One match played for Fiorentina last year. Let's take another look at it, and that was a rocket, John.
Look at that. On a little bit of a high bounce, got the boot up and sent it off. A nice job by Pena to get down and make that save.
Vitale settling it down.
I'll tell you what, you can already see Venezia's back line much higher right now than they were in the first half. The first half, the center backs didn't come any further forward than about the 30-yard line of the football field. Now they're up almost to the 45-yard line of the football field, near to the edge of the center circle. They are going to run at City and try to compact that field because they're already down 2-0. Doesn't matter if you lose 3 or 4-0. They want to get some goals, and they want to ask questions of these college kids.
That ball played outside of the line.
City.
Throwing coming now for Venezia.
Long throw and a beautiful head on. And look at Venezia coming forward. Clearly, that's another nice touch. Went off the back of the head of Fabiano. He was looking for Falzerano. He wanted to head that ball off the side of his head because Falzerano was making the run and onside. He just couldn't control it, and it went back harmlessly, and City able to collect.
Marcello Falzerano. There's been some energy coming into this match. No question about that. Certainly a bright future for that young man.
They've got the pitch down now. That's a heck of a through ball for Venezia.
That was incredible, no doubt about it. Falzerano swings it out to the left side. Vitale gets it on frame.
And
Sinclair will relieve the pressure.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what you're supposed to do as a defender. Don't get cute. Don't try to turn with the ball. Just get it out of there and set up the corner.
Let's take a look at the weekly trivia presented by Fego. What year did Filippo Inzaghi win the FIFA World Cup with Italy? So we'll let you marinate on that. It's a little bit of a softball here this week, but our weekly trivia, always a lot of fun, presented by Fego.
Yeah.
Now Venezia with the possession, but John, you see there's certainly been a change in the possession time here in the second half.
Yeah, they look a lot more comfortable. Look at that ball.
Falzerano on the run. Instead, he's cut off by Kervin Kenton.
But look at that, Venezia keeps coming forward, and immediately on the ball was Soligo. He couldn't control, but that's the difference between an NPSL side and a Serie B side. A lot of NPSL sides against City like that, you have one player make the run, maybe a couple of other teammates are ball watching. Everybody kept moving for Venezia. And so it was just try to find where the ball's going to be and get there.
Zach Bach played that ball back to Pena. And now on the run is Jordan Tyler. Tried to make something out of it. Nearly did through 2 defenders. Sanuto signed a 2-year extension here for Venezia at the end of May.
Oh, that's another nice touch. Here it is. This is the Venezia we expected to see.
Falzerano out to the left side. I believe that's Zampano with it. Right foot shot will go over top of the frame.
That hit something in front. And I think they will say it's still a goal kick, but that looked as though it redirected a little bit in front and went over top the bar. Let's take a look at this.
Simone Bentivolio.
So he drops it in, goes. No, I guess it didn't touch anything. It just spun on him.
Bentivolio played for the U20, U21 Italian national teams. Also played for Chievo Verona for 9 seasons, scoring 8 goals. He's a seasoned veteran of Italian soccer. Now Venezia again with more pressure. Soligo, right side. Fabrice. Falzerano. Played away nicely by Kervin Kenton.
Oh, don't get cute. You get cute and turnovers like this happen.
Rano sends it back in. Bentivolio settles it down. Thread the needle. Kervin Kenton shut the door. How about that composure, though? Bentivolio. Falzerano. That's the handball.
Wing backs forward for Venezia right now.
This is the equivalent of a full court press right now, John.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here comes trying to take advantage of it. Nearly doing that was Jordan Tyler.
There was one center back there for Venezia. And now they get the turnover and Muscle City off the ball. And here they come forward again. And look at the wing backs bomb forward. And the outer backs of that midfield 4 bomb forward.
Fabrice, right side, goes out wide. Falzerano. Ball will be played back. Soligo. He's 38 years old, playing for Venice, but stepping through one more time. Bentivolio. Detroit City FC will get the throw in this time.
So Jeff Adkins will take, but look, even on this throw in, only one center back for Venezia. They've got 10 forward here.
Let's take a look at the next upcoming match, the MPSL playoffs against Dakota Fusion FC, brought to you by Strategic Staffing Solutions. This Saturday, July 22nd at 7:30 right here at Keyworth Stadium.
56th minute here at Keyworth Stadium. Still 2-0 Detroit City FC over Venezia FC.
No Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you alongside for tonight's match, brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons.
And NGS Louisville asking if they've moved to a 4-2-4. No, there's still 3 at the back.
There's Jeff Atkins with it. Atkins stepping through, will fire a shot, but that's handled easily. Audero.
Venezia still with 3 at the back, which downgrades to 1 at the back really when they're pressing.
Actually, we had a change in goal at halftime for Venezia as well. Guillermo Vicario spent his youth with the Udinese organization in goal now for Venezia, so you can close the door on Emil Ordero. Here comes Venezia pressing forward again.
Nice step
midfield,
back there.
Bentivolio, yeah, indeed. It's a pretty movement.
He's making Castorino run. And that's the difference between City's first choice midfield and City's second choice midfield. Castorino a decent player, but he's a very reactive player instead of a proactive midfield player. And that allows a player like Bentivolo to step back and control things and find a lane because he takes control of the situation.
Spinning in midfield with it, Fabiano.
Right around Norman.
Makar drops it back. Makar gets it back. Goes to work. Blue ball on the right side. Soligo touches it. Fabrice crosses it. Nobody on the other end for Venezia. And keep in mind, John, Venezia in really the beginning stages of preparation for their Serie B season. This might even be the initial action that they're getting things together.
Yeah, they're a little bit rusty, and they're trying to move some things along, but you can still see the class they have.
And now we'll get you the answer of our weekly trivia presented by Fago. The question, what year did Filippo Inzaghi win the FIFA World Cup with Italy? And all of our tweets with the hashtag WatchCity, they knew right away, 2006. That was the year that Inzaghi and company lifted the Coppa Mundo for Italia. Of course, that was a big moment in my family's life. My wife Sylvia, all her family, mother and father, natives of Italy, they certainly were very excited. They're actually on hand here tonight with Venezia being in town. A little taste of home for them.
Nice to see that Rule Holdings is out and in force.
Yep.
And the family thereof. Of course, wasn't that the Zinedine Zidane headbutt game in 2006?
Yeah, it certainly was.
When Zinedine lost his head, using his head a little bit. Of course, he's rebounded a little bit. Now the manager of Real Madrid. Fernando Peña. Just saw him. That's a heck of a guy between the sticks for City tonight. He's made some great saves. Northern Guard looking like they're having a heck of a lot of fun over there.
At IROBM2 on Twitter says, watching the game from Venice, as the offside flag is up there. Watching the game from Venice, good game for DCFC, but Venezia definitely struggling with the pitch. And look, there's no question about that, John. You and I talked about that during the halftime break. It certainly has been an adjustment.
Yeah, and you know what? It's at least a learning experience for Venezia. It's nothing they'll see during the Serie B season. But it has helped City in that it has run away from Venezia at a couple key junctures. And there's going to be a foul that some in the City faithful say might have been somewhere near simulation, but no booking is given, so no harm, no foul.
That ball headed on, and Fernando Peña will make the grab easily.
That's part of being a grassroots club, is the pitch that we have. I know there are plans and thoughts about, the next phase of investment for Detroit City, looking at upgrading the pitch here at Keyworth Stadium, maybe improving the drainage a bit here at Keyworth. But when you're a grassroots club and you're trying to build a season ticket holder base and do different things, you have to do things in stages. The first thing was getting the bleachers usable and retrofitting this old Works Progress Administration facility back from the 30s. They've done that, and so now you can continue to make Keyworth a better home for DCFC.
Next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Rip It, the official energy drink of Detroit City FC. 62nd minute, 2-0 the score. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along. Long pass sent up. It's headed down, and boy, a nice example of two-man game. Malakar is offside, so says the referee off to the side.
We've got a substitution here. Coming on is Alexandre Jejo. He will come on here in the 62nd minute.
Jejo, a native of Switzerland, 23 goals in his last 70 matches for Brescia and Venezia, so he certainly comes in with the mentality of putting balls in the back of the net. Mattia Vitale's evening is done.
And City will not be sad to see him go. He was pretty good in midfield once he got the hang of the pitch here at Keyworth. Excellent on the ball. And so that's a potent midfield player now taking his seat on the bench.
Now here comes an opportunity into the box, stepping through with a left-footed shot that goes over top of everything is Lokar.
Sending that one over the Keyworth wall, and it looked as though his plant foot
We got a youngster
He's going to go collect that.
Yeah, he's collecting that. He's making a run for it. We may never see that ball again. He is clear run out of the city with it.
That is part of the grassroots effort here, apparently, at Keyworth. Waiting for a new football, and he's got a Mitre.
Yep, there you go.
Speaking of Mitre, the NPSL playoffs powered by Mitre coming to Keyworth Stadium on Saturday. Tickets available for Detroit City FC versus Dakota Fusion FC, 7:30 kickoff right here at Keyworth. Tickets at DebtCityFC.com. The tickets tab. That is the NPSL playoffs powered by Mitre.
Giuseppe Zampano loses control of that one as it crosses over the goal line.
64th minute here, 2-0. City on top here on a beautiful evening in Metro Detroit.
And right now it's my great pleasure to introduce the owner of Venezia FC. He is Joe Tacopina, an American attorney, was previously the president of Bologna as well. Joe, welcome. It's great to have you up here. So Joe Tacopina joining us here.
There we go.
And that ball sent in through the box, stepping into the right-footed shot. Unable to get good contact on it. And now the ball will be played away by Venezia.
Hang on, there's a little chippiness, and that's because Jordan Tyler got stepped on. I don't think intentionally.
Simone Bentivoglio mixing it up, but as promised, we are joined now by Joe Tacopina, the owner of Venezia FC. And Joe, it's an honor to talk to you, sir. How are you tonight?
Good, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. And Joe, you and I talked last night at the meet and greet for a couple of moments. Really a lot of parallels between this Venezia side and Detroit City FC, definitely from a city perspective. A couple of cities that maybe a little bit old, kind of seen things maybe take a bit of a downturn, but two cities are definitely on the rise again.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that this is a grassroots project, really, I mean, obviously the way I look at it is we're a 110-year-old startup. You know, we have a great and glorious history, but the last 20 years have been very difficult for Venezia Football Club for the fans. But, you know, we've returned them to a semblance of prominence and relevance. And, you know, we've won 2 championships in 2 years and a Coppa Italia last year. And, you know, what Detroit's doing here from the bottom up with just passion of a community is pretty impressive. And it's similar to what's going on with us.
You brought in a man in Filippo Inzaghi that brings with him an awful lot of cachet in the Italian game. How much of a role does his presence on the touchline bring in the growth of the club and your ability to attract the loanees that you have and the part of the double promotions and where you are right now?
I mean, Filippo's a huge part of it. I mean, he's a workaholic, someone who literally is married to this game. You know, as a champion, a world champion, and someone who players respect. And a lot of players want to play for. We've had players literally ask us if, you know, we would have them on the team, and I'm talking about high-level players. So when Zaghi does that, he gives us a level of visibility that obviously it comes along with someone who is as legendary as he is, and you know, he's just done a great job in being married to this project.
Joe Tacopina joining us. He's the owner of Venezia FC, kind enough to take a couple minutes up here in the booth. So Joe, how do you like your time in Detroit so far?
Great. I mean, last time I was here was about 10 years ago, and it's a big difference in what I see in the city. So it's been great. Hospitality has been great, and you know, enjoying it.
You know, Joe, you guys are making a push too, and part of this trip, I would imagine, I don't know this, I don't want to put words in your mouth or speak for you, but I would imagine it's to grow the Venezia brand in America as well. You have a recognizable face in Inzaghi, but maybe even more importantly than that, Joe, you guys are winning. And you guys are winning at a high rate. You moved up 2 divisions in 2 years, and you guys are putting this together very quickly.
Yeah, at bottom, that's what counts, right? I mean,
right.
You know,
that always helps the brand.
All the other things are good, but yeah, we're the first team in 60 years, 57 years to be exact, to go from, you know, the 4th division to the 2nd division in 2 consecutive seasons. And you throw a Coppa Italia championship on top of that, it's been a pretty special ride, but, you know, it's just beginning. I mean, we have very high ambitions. You know, we're not stopping in Serie B. I didn't leave, you know, 2 major Serie A teams, Roma and Bologna, to come to Venice to rest in Serie B. I mean, you know, we've made some great progress, but, you know, Serie A is where we're going to eventually wind up, be it next year or the year after, which will coincide with our new stadium. So there's a lot of exciting things happening in one of the most glorious cities in the world, historically and from a visibility standpoint. We have 30 million tourists a year that we utilize and have really started to develop a global fan base, and that's why this game was so important to us. Just aside from the fact that we have an American ownership group, coming here and starting to globalize the brand on the field as well is special.
You mentioned your American ownership group, and there are parts of Europe, parts of the world, where American ownership groups are vilified. I speak maybe of England, where Mr. Hicks and Mr. Gillette were on Liverpool had trouble. There's some fan discontent. What's it been like, and how have you been received by the Italian fans?
It's hard to describe. I mean, I could show you my phone, and you could take a look at this picture, and you tell me. I mean, it's been really a love affair between me and the Italian fans, and in the sense that, I have Italian roots. My parents were born there. But more than that, when you do something as important as get involved in Italian football, you have to understand as an owner that you're really a custodian of the team. You're not an owner. The team is owned by the community. It's owned by the city. These teams are a fiber of the community. And if you go in there thinking you're the owner and the fans are just along for the ride, you've lost before you started. I get myself into the communities. We respect the history of the team. We respect the traditions and cultures of the community. I get into the community and deal with the individuals there and all facets of the community. And I think they appreciate that we're bringing some, exciting new ideas, a sustainable and healthy business model, championships, and yet, all done with respect towards that community. So they don't, I think they appreciate the fact that we respect their community and are part of it. Not, we're not foreigners to them.
Joe Tacopina joining us here, the owner of Venezia FC. And of course, Joe, we talked about, bottom line, you guys have won as Venezia here are trying to create some opportunities to get back into this match. But you guys have won certainly at a high level. And you know the game. You've been around it at the highest levels in the world. It takes talent to do that. There's a nice through ball sent in. And now Joe turning with it. Here comes an opportunity for Venezia. But that happens with talent on the field. There's no doubt about that. Giorgio Perinetti, certainly a guy that has stocked your team in short order. Now, Perinetti's resume very impressive as well. It stops at Juve, Roma, and Napoli as well.
Yeah, Giorgio's a legend. I mean, for him to come and commence this project with me in the 4th division, people really didn't think, they thought I was kidding. When I said Giorgio Perinetti's our sporting director, he's been, as you said, Juventus, Napoli, Roma, Palermo, and it really is someone who established instant credibility and let me do my business on the business side of things and not have to worry about the sporting side. Giorgio's credibility went a long way in bringing players like Fabiano and Bentivoglio, Domizzi, Serie A players, to our team to join this project because they believe in the project, and Giorgio's here. It gives a lot of credibility to them.
So your project is growing and it continues to improve. You have connections in New York. You have connections all over this country. My guess is if you wanted to bring Venezia over, you could have chosen any number of opponents.
Yep.
Why Detroit City FC?
It was a cool story. I mean, honestly, I'm into like cool stories. I'm into the fact that this was such a great grassroots story and how you guys have all done it here. We had a chance to play NYCFC in the MLS. The timing wasn't right because we start our Coppa Italia Series championship on August 6th. This is literally our 6th day of training. We trained for about 5 days in Italy and came over to Detroit. So they're still trying to get their legs here. And we have a lot of young kids we're looking at right now that played the whole first half. So, but Detroit allowed us to do something which really, this is a training game for us. It's exciting, but it's a cool city. It's an up-and-coming city that's, a legendary, great city, but that's revitalized. And it's a nice Italian-American population here. And not to mention our architect, Matt Rossetti, is from Detroit. So we figured we'd give Matt some love and come here and play in his city.
Well, Joe, I can certainly echo that sentiment. My wife's family, directly from Italy as well, they were fired up to come out to the match tonight. They're here tonight, and Venezia FC brought them out. Their first ever match here for Detroit City. I've been working here 3 years, but their first ever match here against Venezia. We certainly do appreciate you carving out some time. I know Alex Wright, one of the co-owners here of Detroit City FC, said you guys are a role model for City and what they're trying to do. So thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you guys for having me. You guys are great. Thanks.
All right, that was Joe Tacopina, the owner of Venezia FC, kind enough to take a couple minutes. And Joe, I'm going to come look you up when I'm coming through Venice next time, all right?
By the way, while we were talking to Joe Neal, we should say, because it happened just at the start of our interview, Jordan Tyler was sent off for that chippiness after the play, for violent conduct after the play. And so again, for the second consecutive match, it's 10 v 11. Of course, 10 v 11, City didn't do that badly against Lansing United. But then again, Lansing United is a different caliber of competition than Venezia this evening. And by the way, Joe's impact on the Venezia supporters community felt again by our third tweet tonight from Il Darigissimo, who said, Venice supporters love you. Here's the play. And you see there Jordan Tyler coming over and stepping on and stepping into a Venezia player and getting sent off for his trouble. So Jordan Tyler gets sent off. This is, however, a friendly, so he should be eligible for Saturday against the Dakota Fusion, I believe.
So that should be the case. 2-0 the score here in the 74th minute. And Rule John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along. And yeah, it is nice to see all the interaction from the Venice fans as well. Certainly very cool to hear their sentiments on Twitter, and all the fans all season long that have been tweeting in with the hashtag Watch City. That ball's played into the box. Some confusion. And now the foul is called. And again, John, we're seeing it get a little bit testy out there.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what? You're a Serie B club and you're trailing 2-0 to your hosts, a couple divisions down from the United States. Joe's right. It is only their 6th day of training. Right. There's a lot of rust on the wheels, but you still don't like going out and losing, and so there's a little frustration there. By the way, our one of our tweeters, David Sabin from Philly, saying Joe's sentiment about the role of the owner is music to my ears. The man gets it. I think he does. It was fun chatting with him.
Oh, well, there's no question. I mean, Joe Tacopina's resume certainly does speak for itself. Now let's take a look at the attendance tonight. Brought to you by Rip It Energy. 5,418 here on a Tuesday. So certainly fans feeling the excitement as well. There's 5,500 of them rolled out here tonight. As always, attendance brought to you by Rip It Energy.
Think about that. For a friendly 5,500, and that's a vicious foul. And we're going to see a booking for a Venezia player here coming in. And Castorino taking one hard from Bentolino. He comes in. Well,
left-hand tackle
that's
there.
That's a good rugby tackle.
By Bentivoglio. So Bentivoglio in the book. And the player for Chievo Verona. That's Filippo Inzaghi working on his club in peril right now in this friendly. They're down 2-0 in the 76th minute. And of course, Detroit City FC playing with 10 men. Irvin Kenton puts the left boot to it.
That's a well-placed ball. Look at that, City right on it. That's a beautiful free kick from midfield to set something up. And City doing a nice job just to keep possession.
The next 15 minutes of play brought to you by Strategic Staffing Solutions, sponsor of the S3 Beer Garden here at Keyworth Stadium in the DCFC International Series. And I have to say, this whole DCFC International Series brought to you by Strategic Staffing Solutions continues to blow me away. And the opportunity that this week has presented for me personally, getting a chance to rap with Filippo Inzaghi. And really, the thing that I've found the most fun is getting to meet Joe Tacopina. I mean, this guy, he was incredible to talk to. The DCFC fans have received him warm on Twitter, and you know, he's not a guy. You know where you stand, I get the feeling, with Joe Tacopina. He speaks in absolutes.
He'll tell it how it is.
Right.
He is unafraid of the truth. And you know what, David Sabin talked about the role of ownership. And what Joe Tacopina does for Venezia is what all of DCFC's quintet of owners do for the fans here for Detroit City FC. Sean Mann and Alex Wright, all the rest of the ownership group for DCFC that have built a supportive club and put this together and been able to expand the footprint such that you have friendlies like that against FC United of Manchester last year and Glentoran and now Venezia. They're doing it the right way. And so for all of the money in football today, there are clubs and there are environments out there that care about building through supporters, with supporters, for supporters. And both clubs on the pitch tonight are representative of that in their respective lands.
Campano with the ball. That one's crossed into the box, but again, it's that man, Kervin Kenton, who's been a wall defensively, and he's done it on both sides. He's been all right offensively here, but defensively he's been very strong.
NGS Louisville tweeting at us, he did some math. City have drawn in their last 3 matches, including tonight's friendly, over 18,000 fans to Keyworth Stadium. That's impressive, folks. Thank you from all of us, whether you watch right here on the Watch City stream or whether you come out to Keyworth when you can. Thanks for being a part of Detroit City Football Club and putting your money and your support right here with football in Detroit.
And that cross is headed over top of the bar, and some frustration on the faces of Venezia FC. I believe that was Makar again with a prime opportunity that just goes by the boards.
Fernando Pena continuing to play well in goal. Some of the swagger, some of the confidence back that we saw lost in that match against AFC Ann Arbor and during the first part of the match against Lansing United. Pena going up against some of the best here in Italy's lower divisions as they make their rise up into Serie B, and he has been leveled to the task.
No question about it. Fernando Pena with an opportunity to shine, and he's done that here today. Has a clean sheet for almost 79 minutes of play. That ball cleared out, and that is the chair in the game that Detroit City FC has right now. Batten down the hatches for 11 minutes and get out of here with a very surprising win in mini circles.
All hands to the pumps and play defense, and that's what you got to do. You've got the goals you need. Now punt and hoof and clear it down the field and go to the corner flags and keep possession and don't make a lazy back pass, and you walk out of here with a win for the ages, really, for Detroit City.
Sinclair plays that ball up towards the middle. Get a Venezia player down on the turf, but still controlling it. Montivoglio to the left side. Now the official, once a play is halted a little bit, will blow the whistle. I believe Druskagin is a player that's shaken up, and that is the case. Druskagin with 118 career appearances for Latina, within the U20 World Cup team with the Italian national team, and that's been a prevailing theme here tonight. All the Venezia players that you talk about. So now Detroit City FC will serve the ball back. And Joe Tacopina's words really making an impact with the followers of the match here tonight with the hashtag #WatchCity. Christina Simbert says, built with supporters, through supporters, for supporters, strong. And I'll be honest, John, I'm really looking forward this season to checking out what Venezia does. They are somebody that I'm going to keep an eye on. And I really get this feeling, and a lot of it has to do with the talent of the roster, but a lot of it has to do with the front office as well. And Joe Tacopina is going to accomplish that goal.
They're going to make Serie B is strong. I don't think they will be in any danger at all of going back down to Lega Pro. I think what you're going to see from Venezia is a very good, strong run in Serie B. They are going to be at worst a mid-table club and at best challenging for promotion. But give them a year in Serie B and it will allow them to continue to recruit better players. And once they have that, with Zaghi doing what he does, you're going to see Venezia right back in there among the conversation in Italian football at the highest levels.
Last competed in Serie A back in 2002. They won the Coppa Italia in 1941. But now they're just looking for a goal here against Detroit City FC. They don't have it. They're down 2-0.
I've enjoyed the NPSL Twitter feed tonight. They're rather enjoying that the representatives of the league are having this kind of success. Frankly, so am I. Yeoman's efforts in the second half. Remember, this is the City B team, so to speak.
Sure.
Ben Pierman made a lot of changes at halftime. By the way, Greg Janicki on the pitch.
Right. Dave DeWahey started the second half, has since come out.
So you have a situation where you have a lot of Ben Pierman's depth out there, and they're still running with this Venezia club. Now, let's be fair to our visitors from across the pond. This is their 6th day of training. All right, this would be as if City were playing a match in early April in the first week of camp. Coming on now, by the way, for City, number 35, Dylan Wagaman.
Coming in, replacing Kervin Kenton, who gets a nice hand from the Detroit City FC fans, and deservedly so. And that's good to see. The fans here appreciate the effort of Kervin Kenton, because it's not something that appears in a stat sheet. As a substitution for Venezia as well, Nicola Fassan coming into the game for Venezia, replacing Gianni Fabiano.
Nicola Fassan and Tyrone Mondi would have a conversation at eye level. They're both rather diminutive out there.
Fassan, 19 years old, so they're right around the same age as well. That ball touched up in the air. Detroit City FC looking to salt away the last 6+ minutes of action.
George Shamakov with a little pull on the arm of a Venezia player. The Northern Guard, with their new tradition inside 10 minutes to go, turning on the cell phone flashlights. Some of the fun here at Keyworth.
There's a foul called against Castorino. Mauricio Castorino upset. A quick restart now for Venezia. Still down 2-0 in the 84th minute. Ball chipped up towards the box and headed away again. Detroit City FC conceding the possession, but John not conceding the back line.
Yeah, this is rope-a-dope is what this is. This is Muhammad Ali sitting back and letting Foreman punch and punch and punch and not going down. And the City back line have been punched at all evening, and they haven't gone down. Really, it's been the back five, because Fernando Pena has marshaled that back four and positioned them well. And, frankly, they have resisted the urge to be too cute along the back line.
Turn and burn.
Turn, burn, head, hoof, get it out of there. Don't try to play it out. This isn't the time to channel your inner Pep Guardiola and play tiki-taka out with your feet. Use whatever part of the body you can, save the hands and arms, and get it out of there. And that's what the City back line have done.
Fernando Pena there in the shadows of all the cell phone lights here by the Northern Guard. Detroit City FC 5+ minutes away from a very historic victory. A friendly, yes. It would be very historic here at Keyworth Stadium.
By the way, City have yet to lose a friendly here at Keyworth against an international side. They drew against FC United of Manchester, they beat Glentoran, and they lead 2-0 against Venezia. So barring 3 goals in the final 4 minutes and 50 seconds, because I can't imagine there'll be a whole lot of stoppage time, City will continue to be unbeaten against foes from outside this country here on their home patch.
2-0 the score, 85.5 minutes down. And the Northern Guard begins to sense it, as does the rest of the 5,000+ supporters here at Keyworth Stadium.
Still, though, a nice touch from the Northern Guard, and I hope our cameras can get a shot. That's Venezia colored smoke. That isn't rouge and gold. That's another homage to the Serie B club, a bit of a thank you for coming over and giving some more credibility to what we're doing here in Detroit. It's green and orange smoke coming out, not rouge and gold.
Zampano will throw it in, and there's a good look at that green-colored smoke. Venezia, as we will get a foul call. Hassan taken down. This will be a dangerous spot here. So, John, it's getting to the point here in the 87th minute. If they have illusions of drawing this match, they're pretty much going to have to convert within the next 45 seconds.
Yeah, it starts here. And it starts with being able to convert on this set piece. Dangerous position outside of the area. Men backing up to the back post. Wouldn't be surprised to see one sent there.
And that's straight on at Pena, and he comes through with the double punch.
Oh, that's a smart move. A lot of keepers
would have tried to grab it.
They'll either try to grab it or they'll try the one-hand punch to redirect. He knew it was coming in pace, and so your front hand comes up to block, and your back hand is there for support. And he just punched it up and away. Heck of a play to know and read that ball with pace. Here's the set piece, comes in. Watch Pena's hands. Gets up, 2 hands, punch over.
Corner sent in short, it's headed away. So again, Detroit City FC bending but not breaking. Castorino makes a run at that ball and creates a turnover as Chamakov settles it down. Keep in mind, Detroit City FC playing with 10 men for a majority of the second half, and they've conceded nothing.
Just after I think it was around the 70th minute, somewhere in the 60s, it was Jordan Tyler being sent off for a bit of a red mist moment, getting a little chippy after the play. Rightly sent off, frankly. No need to get physical the way he did and prolong things. Bud City, for the second consecutive match, remaining resolute with 10 men. And that's an awful lot of Ben Pierman, because he helps his side not lose their head, continue to play with shape, and keep their heads about them.
Oh, Fernando Pena crosses over. A good move by Pena. Now he'll put the boot to it back up towards midfield.
I'll tell you what, he wouldn't be doing that on Saturday. That was a little look-at-me moment because he had a couple goal lead.
That ball swung out wide to the right side. Fabrice, though, has it intercepted by Omar Sinclair. So Sinclair continuing to shine here tonight.
Janicki and Chamakov getting in, but then a turnover.
Janicki, formerly of the Indy 11, getting the go here tonight. There's a give and go to the top of the D. Zarano sends it in, and the ball trickles just wide of the right post. So Detroit City FC living charmed on that possession.
Well, if there's something that was a microcosm of Venezia's night in one play, that was it. Keep possession, keep possession, keep possession. Set it up beautifully with a man coming off the end of the formation, make a run, playing it back, getting one-on-one via the keeper, and it's one touch that keeps it out. That's been Venezia's evening all night. Having a lion's share of possession and very technically sound, and one masterclass run by Cyrus Sadie and a poacher's goal as well from Roddy Green. And all of a sudden it's 2-0 for City.
90th minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along. A special hello to everyone watching on FoxSportsDetroit.com. This friendly match between Detroit City FC and Venezia FC, brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons. Big thank you to the folks at Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons for their support of this match to make it happen.
Yeah, they were pretty big in terms of putting their sponsorship dollars in to make this happen, and it has turned into a wonderful night for Detroit City Football Club. We've hit 90 minutes. It's up to the referee now.
We are in stoppage time. Pena wings it out. The whistle sounds, and Detroit City FC has shocked the Serie B Venezia FC squad by the score of 2-0.
I don't believe it, but I love it. Detroit City FC, on paper, shouldn't have been able to run with this Venezia club, preseason training or not. And all David did was pick his rouge and gold stone up and give Goliath a good old-fashioned whack on the noggin and send him down. And they did it with yeoman's efforts by the A and B teams and an amazing amount of technical skill and precision. And most of all, Neil, they did it playing the way Ben Pierman wanted them to, not overextending, and playing perhaps their best technical match of the season. And they get a win that the supporters here tonight, 5,500 of them plus, will remember for a long time.
No question about it, a special night here tonight at Keyworth Stadium. So Detroit City FC victorious over Venezia FC, and that man, Filippo Inzaghi, a soccer legend, and yeah, why not? If you're a Detroit City FC player.
A couple of selfies.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to do that. Sean Lawson going to step in there as well. And some props to that guy right there too, Filippo Inzaghi. His side just came in here and lost 2-0 in a friendly match, and he's still going to take the time to do it with all the players. He gets it. He's not a happy man right now because, look, when you're the manager of a side and you lose 2-0.
City players are running after him now. Oh, he's taking pictures. Let's go get a look.
Yeah, absolutely. But, hey, that is the story and that is the scenario. So props to Filippo Inzaghi. And, again, props to all everyone affiliated with Venezia FC, the owner Joe Tacopina as well, coming up here in the booth, and they certainly were a class to deal with all weekend long, and certainly were a good time to have around. And as we said, we'll keep an eye on what Venezia FC does in Serie B as they try to get to the top level of Italian football. And right now, standing by with our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson is the head coach Ben Pierman. Lindsey, take it away.
Thanks, Neil. Coach, what did you see from your team out there in the second half?
Well, we went down to 10 men. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was okay. We defended well. Fernando made some good saves. Bach was great back there. Curvin played really well. So we did some good defending. We didn't keep it well enough. Like I said at halftime, they're in preseason, so they got on the ball. They made some subs, but to beat them overall 2-0 was a great result for us. I told the guys in the locker room, I said, I want to play shutout soccer. I think we got to get back to some stuff where we're defending better. And they did that great today, so hopefully that leads into the next 3 days of training, and then the big one on Saturday to make sure we're ready to go and hopefully can get a shutout again Saturday night.
And I have to ask you, what's it like to manage a game against Filippo Inzaghi?
No, it's awesome. It's humbling. I mean, he doesn't speak English, but he was incredibly kind to our guys and to us. Their whole staff was incredible. So he's a legend. He's one of the best Italian strikers, if not the best Italian striker of all time. He's a great player, even better person from what I got to know in just a short little time. So that was awesome. That was one of the highlights of my career so far. So, you know, I'm very appreciative of what our club and their clubs have done. It's a tremendous experience.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
And I'm also joined by tonight's man of the match, Fernando Pina. What did you see from your team out there?
I think it was a fun game to play in, and we just took advantage of that. We talked about it before, and we all just enjoyed the game. We just had fun, and I think that's what we did, and I think that's what led us to a 2-0 win.
And how good does it feel to post a shutout against a team like Venezia?
Oh, it feels really good. You know, finally get a shutout after 2 games, landing a couple goals. But I mean, they're a great team, and we played well. Also, the whole team in front of me helped me out. It was not just me, so yeah, it was good.
And a big game on Saturday, playoffs. What's the mindset going into that game?
Well, we just go off of this and then back to training, and you know, we got to win. We win or we're out, so we're just going to go off of this and then take it one game at a time.
And I always ask the new guys, what's it like playing in front of these supporters?
Oh, it's amazing. It's just like a professional level. So it's good. They help us out. They're like the 12th player, so it's good. It's enjoyable.
Thanks, Fernando.
Thank you.
Neil, back to you.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. Appreciate that. The man of the match, Fernando Pina, after a 2-0 shutout of Venezia FC in Serie B. Certainly, and he played it cool, but that's going to be a big moment for him whenever he hangs those boots up. He's going to look back at this one and say, yeah, I beat a Serie B team.
Absolutely will. It's a night a lot of these guys won't forget, but I love Ben Pierman's comments there. Goes out, gets the win, enjoyed it, but now let's focus on Saturday. And if you're a City player, it's now a fine line between confident and cocky, because you want to take the situation where you have a situation where you've beaten a Serie B club, okay? You've won that, and you want to take that momentum in. But you don't want to walk in there with too much swagger and say, we beat a Serie B club, we're going to go ahead and walk over Dakota Fusion FC, because you're back in the NPSL, and there are no easy nights in the NPSL. So if you're a City player, you got to take a half hour tonight, celebrate the heck out of this, and then you got to get ready and you got to buckle down and realize that you're 0-0, so is Dakota Fusion, and by the end of Saturday night, one of you is going on, one of you is going home, and you want to have that focus to take the best of tonight and then go ahead and move into Saturday and move on in the tournament.
Let's take a look at the final report from tonight's matchup. 2-0 Detroit City FC with the win. Venezia FC with an advantage in shots, but the shots on goal were the same at 4. Corners 8-1 in favor of Venezia. But when you got Fernando Pina in the cage tonight, that certainly was more than enough as Pina gets the clean sheet and the shutout and the man of the match honors. Well, it certainly was a lot of fun here tonight at Keyworth Stadium. Venezia FC and Detroit City FC, brought to us by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons, put on a tremendous show. But in the end, it was Le Rouge and the goal kits tonight with the 2-0 victory over Venezia FC, and that man that man Roddy Green got things started. But how about this play by Cyrus Sadie? And Elijah Rice tapping in one of the easier goals he's going to get in his career. And that would make it 2-0. And that would be all Fernando Pena would need as he gets that clean sheet, as we talked about, in a 2-0 victory over Venezia FC. So the playoffs on the horizon Saturday. Dakota Fusion FC in town in a winner-take-all extravaganza. And don't forget to hit up the match recap brought to you by Motor City Casino. Go to DebtCityFC.com and take a look at the Motor City match recap. So let's take a look also at the Air Force weekend recap brought to you by the Air Force, where you can find out everything that went on over the weekend in Detroit City FC action. So make sure you log on to airforce.com and go to DebtCityFC.com to check out the U.S. Air Force weekend recap. So for our entire crew here tonight, my broadcast partner John Krieger and our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson, this is Neil Rule reminding you one final time, Detroit City FC victorious over Venezia FC by the score of 2-0 in tonight's match, brought to you by Quicken Loans and the Detroit Pistons. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Have a great night. Thank you for watching. Well, see you later.